Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about GABA, gamma-butyric acid, which is the inhibitory neurotransmitter in the brain for anxiety. Before we get into that, please remember I am not a doctor and I am not a chemist, and I do not pretend to be either one of those things. I do not encourage the use of any substances, legal or illegal, and this video is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. So, gamma-butyric acid, or GABA, as I will be referring to it in this video, is the inhibitory neurotransmitter in the brain, the only inhibitory neurotransmitter. There are multiple drugs that are based off of GABA and act on the GABA pathway, I guess you could say, to help with anxiety. Many people have noted great effects with the sort of GABA pathway drugs. I believe that even Xanax is based on this pathway in the brain when it comes to having short-term bursts of maybe an anxiety attack or such. Now, I have used GABA in the past for that very specific reason. I suffer from OCD, specifically pure OCD, but I don't really want to get into that because that can kind of spark it up. But overall, it helps to calm my nerves down, especially when I have a pure OCD panic attack. And when I say panic attack, I mean I will shut down and start shaking because of the nature of pure OCD. And if you want to learn about that on your own, you can. I may be making a video on it in the future. It depends on how I'm doing. I am on, to be clear, I'm on sertraline, also known as Zoloft, for my OCD, and I had gone off of it, and now that I went back on, I'm doing better. But when I had gone off, I had a reuptick, a dramatic increase in pure OCD, and it was very bad. But with my panic attacks, I was using gamma-butyric acid, GABA, for its inhibitory neurotransmitter effects and its calming effects. So a lot of people use this in their sleep formulas to help them fall asleep or to have deeper sleep, like I mentioned in another video where you can induce deeper and REM sleep. I've used it for that, but I also use it for very strong bursts of anxiety to help calm myself down. I have noticed that I have to take a higher amount. I think that GABA has a tolerance buildup to it, just like phenibut, which is another synthetic form of GABA, which is, I believe, only acts on one specific receptor of GABA and is not supposed to be sold as a supplement anymore. I've never taken it. At least I don't think I have. But phenibut, I've heard it pronounced both ways. Phenibut is known to be used for that same purpose of anti-anxiety. People have actually been using that as a form of social lubricant, so they can go and talk to people without having to drink alcohol or take another sort of drug to help them calm down. I've even heard of people using it in a neuroenhancement stack to improve their to have everything else improve their cognition, and this take the edge off of the stimulatory effects in the brain. Now, I don't know that GABA or gamma-butyric acid, when you take it orally, actually passes the blood-brain barrier, but it does have some sort of calming effect. Perhaps it's one of those cases in psychology where they notice that if you calm all of the reactions down, you can actually cause the triggering event down as well. That is controversial and theoretical, so I'm not going to say that is the case. But I have noticed great effects from GABA in my use. I mean, I oftentimes have to drive over this one bridge that I don't like. It's the Bay Bridge. And sometimes I will take GABA to be able to drive over it. I've done that like twice. I noticed I have to take a higher dosage of GABA. I have to take upwards of 2,000 milligrams, 2,500 milligrams. Other people will get great effects from just 200, 500. I don't know if that's because I have a tolerance or if that's simply because I'm a larger human being. I've pretty much always needed a higher dose of GABA. I first had it in a very low dose, like 50 milligrams, and I noticed that it actually worked, but then I needed more and more and more for all the anxiety I kept getting, and then I realized that I needed something more long-term that could sustain a healthier cognitive outlook, and that would be Zoloft for me with my pure O OCD. So I like to use it for panic attacks. I don't get them as frequently anymore, but it does help to calm me down and keep me level. I also tend to experience panic when I'm excited about things. So GABA, I sometimes use GABA when I'm really excited about something and I need to keep a relatively calm head about things. So that is another use that I have used it for. But overall, I think GABA is extremely useful in that regard, and I don't know that there are many large-scale studies. I don't think there are any large-scale studies on gamma butyric acid taken orally. Or I don't know why I keep saying the full name, GABA taken orally. But I do know that the smaller studies have shown it being highly effective in its means of use. But obviously we know that small studies are not exactly the most effective thing. It's one of those things where it could also be very case-by-case basis. Some people might have great effects from it, some people might not. I've also noticed that people sometimes will take it, have the great effects from it, and then get really sleepy because GABA sometimes works too well at what it does. But overall, that is going to be it for my video on GABA and its help with my panic attacks and pure O OCD. I hope everyone is doing well right now. Please subscribe to this channel if you are not already. Please like the video if you liked it. And until next time, don't just have a good one, have a great one.